Okay, so for this one, we're looking at drawing the Lewis structure for CO2. We're going to find a number of double bonds and a number of non-bonding electron pairs that are present. Alright, so let's take a look at first of all, the valence electrons, so CO2, and the number of valence electrons we have would be, well, 1 times 4, because there's one carbon and each of those has 4 valence electrons, and it will have 2 times 6, so oxygen has 6 valence electrons, so that's a total of 16 valence electrons we have to deal with. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is get our central atom, and we'll put our 2 atoms on the outside, and now we will bond those outer atoms to the middle atom. What I've done so far is use 2, that's a total of 4 electrons. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to satisfy the outer atoms, and what that means I'm going to add enough electrons to give them a total of 8. So that means adding 6 to this oxygen, because these 2 electrons are shared between the carbon and the oxygen, so they're both owned by the carbon and the oxygen. And I'll do the same thing over here, just making sure I don't use any more than my total here of 16. Alright, so that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I've used up all my valence electrons. And the outer atoms are all happy, but the one in the middle is not happy. It needs 8 electrons as well. Now the only way I can do that, the only way I can give it 8 electrons now, because I've used up all my total of 16, I can't add any electrons to the carbon. What I can do is I can take 2 electrons from here and stick them in the bond here, so that they're now shared by both the carbon and the oxygen. And these 2 electrons are also going to be shared by both the carbon and the oxygen. And that means that we're going to have what's called a double bond. Now remember that each of these lines represents 2 electrons, and we're going to do the same thing on each of those. So now what you can see is we've got a total now of 2 double bonds, so that's the answer to that one. How many double bonds are present? 2. And how many lone or non-bonding electron pairs? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's a total of 4 non-bonding electron pairs. So what are non-bonding electron pairs? Those are electron pairs that aren't bonding to anything or aren't involved in bonding. These electron pairs are definitely involved in bonding. These on the outside here, these are not involved in bonding. You can also have non-bonding electron pairs not only on the outer atoms, but sometimes on the central atom as well. In this case, there are no non-bonding electron pairs on the central atom.